Reconnecting and healing your inner child will bring magic into your life. Hey beautiful souls, today I'm here to talk to you about your inner child. Why is it important to reconnect with it and how you can actually heal it in a few easy and simple steps. But first of all, what is an inner child? So, the inner child is a very important and useful concept that arises from psychotherapy, but it is also a very spiritual concept. Your inner child is that childlike aspect within your unconscious mind. It includes both positive and negative aspects. For example, unmet needs and suppressed emotions are on the negative side, while creativity, joy, playfulness, and innocence are on the positive side. But why is it important to reconnect and heal your inner child? Well, first of all, it is the easiest and fastest way to find roots in your adult issues. For example, you might feel sadness, anger, and rebellion if you only received love when you were being a good girl, a good boy, which, by the way, is very fucked up because we all deserve unconditional love no matter what. Or, for example, if you experienced trauma and abuse, you might have learned to hide fear and pain, which disconnects you from your body and your emotions, and it might actually lead to mental health issues. If you ever judge yourself by thinking stuff like, oh, you shouldn't say what you actually think because otherwise people will not like you, or you don't deserve that promotion because you're not smart enough, like, those kind of thoughts that we all have, well, that might be your inner child repeating what parents, family members, teachers, and other adults in your childhood were saying to you. I'm actually curious to know which judgmental thoughts are the most common for you. So write them in the comments, also because I think that this would help other people identify their negative thoughts. So by becoming aware of it, you will be able to discover and release repressed emotions holding you back, or help you recognize your unmet needs, or resolve unhelpful patterns in your adult life. And it's also an opportunity to increase self-care and release creativity and playfulness. So, how do I reconnect and heal my inner child? I've got 7 precious tips, so make sure to listen to all of them in order to find the best one that could work for you. The first one I have is look at pictures of yourself when you were a child. This will help to see if any emotion comes up and if you can feel any connection arising. It might be or it might not. Honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't help me that much, but I know that some people this actually helps, so try. My second tip is to try and remember what playtime meant to you when you were a child and recreate it in your adult life. For example, I used to love to sing and dance or look at myself in the mirror and make really silly and stupid faces. Warning! At first you will actually feel very awkward and you'll start having judgmental thoughts about what you're doing, but then when you shut those up, it's actually gonna be really hard to stop. Third tip is to journal. Journal. This might be done in different ways, like for example setting up a conversation with your inner child to understand what they need, or reminiscing memories from your childhood in order to get to know your inner child better and analyze your memories. Or you could ask yourself what your inner child might like to do on the day and let your intuition and inspiration guide you, because the intuition is really related to the inner child. You can actually find your own way of journaling. And on a side note, if you feel inspired to do this in moments where you don't have pen and paper, you can always record yourself with your phone or just talk to yourself. I mean, people will actually think that maybe you're crazy, but who cares? My fourth tip is to make space and time to listen to your inner child, because if you're always distracting yourself, and avoiding those compassionate and loving internal conversations, you will never be able to connect with your inner child. My fifth tip is to use trigger as an help, because whenever something happens that makes you angry, sad, or makes you want to throw a tantrum, just think to yourself, does this remind me of something that happened in my childhood and used to make me upset and used to hurt me? It might be. It might not come to your mind straight away, but eventually it will. And from there you can actually start reparenting yourself and break that pattern of sadness, anger, and pain. Because you will actually start to be aware of where it comes from, and so whenever something similar happens, you will actually start to be able to control it better and better in time. My sixth tip is to build trust. Whenever you have that self-talk of hate, judgment, doubt towards yourself, your inner child feels it, and it feels hurt and goes and hide, which will make you feel disconnected. Like, do you remember when your parents used to shout at you something like, "You're a disgrace"? I mean, maybe they never said that, but you get the idea. How did that make you feel? You withdrew from them and from the world around. And of course, if your adult self parenting your inner child does the same, what is your inner child going to do? It's going to be the same. So start talking to yourself with compassion, with love, with understanding, in the same way you would probably do with a child. For example, there's times where I feel anger coming up inside of me, and I feel like this rage. And I know that it's something that comes up because of some memories coming from my childhood. In those moments, when I start feeling that anger, I try to talk to myself and parent myself as if my inner child was my own daughter. And I tell her, why are you so angry? What is making you angry? What do you want to do to feel better? Do you want to stomp your feet on the ground? Do you want to cry? Do you want to shout? Do you want to punch a pillow or something? Whatever you want to do, do it, and then we're gonna actually find a way to solve this problem. We're gonna find a solution, because of course there's a solution to everything, so let's just work it out together. And this actually started helping me a lot whenever I feel angry or sad or whatever, because I actually feel like I have someone to turn to, which is myself. And it's, more than enough for me. I just need myself to understand myself. In this way, your inner child won't feel afraid of expressing themselves, and they'll start trusting you and others around as well, because of course our relationships are impacted by how much trust we have in ourselves. And my seventh tip, which is the last one, is to seek therapy if you think it might help. Some people actually like to go to therapy and talk about their inner child and how to find ways, and of course a therapist might be a great help. I promise you, you will start seeing miracles happen in your life when you start reconnecting again with your inner child. You'll feel lighter, happier, more creative. You'll feel like yourself again. You'll build confidence. You'll be able to set healthy boundaries in your relationships, and you will be able to respect yourself a lot more. We got to the end of this video, so if you liked it, go like it and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you're actually going to implement any of those tips in your daily life, if it was helpful. Until next time, I'm sending you unconditional love, and I'll see you soon.